Hegemony Part 2 has landed, and it's not an overstatement to say Star Trek. Strange New Worlds may have just outshined Star Trek. Discovery in terms of stakes, storytelling, and pure emotional payoff. As the second part of a tense cliffhanger that began in the Season 2 finale, Hegemony is a tour de force that balances heart-pounding action with character-driven drama, all while delivering a satisfying conclusion to one of the show's most ambitious storylines yet. When Part 1 ended, viewers were left hanging as Captain Pike faced an impossible decision. The Gorn had launched a full-scale attack. Members of the Enterprise crew were stranded on a colony under siege, and Starfleet had explicitly ordered Pike not to engage. The final moments promised that Part 2 would be explosive, and it delivered in ways that not only met expectations, but exceeded them. From the opening scene, Hegemony Part 2 sets a relentless pace. The episode wastes no time in addressing the fate of the captured crew, namely Dr. Mbenga, Nurse Chapel, and Lieutenant Lon Noonien Singh. Trapped in Gorn-infested territory, their survival hinges on ingenuity, grit, and trust in one another. Chapel in particular shines, showing both vulnerability and strength as she outsmarts her reptilian captors. One of the standout aspects of this episode is its tone. While Discovery has often leaned into the epic and philosophical, Strange New Worlds opts for intimacy, placing characters in immediate danger and letting their relationships dictate the course of the narrative. Nowhere is this more evident than in the scenes between Pike and Battelle. Their dynamic deepens, becoming one of the emotional pillars of the episode, especially as Pike is forced to consider how far he's willing to go to rescue the woman he loves. But the real triumph of Hegemony Part 2 is its portrayal of the Gorn. These classic Trek antagonists have been terrifyingly reimagined throughout Strange New Worlds, and this episode cements their place as one of the franchise's most fearsome threats. The claustrophobic atmosphere, reminiscent of Alien, turns each scene into a suspenseful nail-biter. The practical effects and CGI blend seamlessly, creating Gorn that are genuinely terrifying, something Discovery has occasionally struggled to achieve with its own villains. Visually, the episode is a masterpiece. Director Amanda Rowe takes full advantage of dimly lit corridors, flickering emergency lights, and narrow escape routes to build tension. The camera lingers just long enough to tease danger before the next explosive reveal. Combined with Nami Melimad's pulsing score, the result is an hour of television that feels more like a cinematic thriller than a standard sci-fi installment. Importantly, Hegemony Part 2 also honors its ensemble. While Pike drives the narrative, each character is given a moment to shine. Spock's calculated risk-taking, Ortega's fierce loyalty, and Sam Kirk's unexpected heroism all contribute to a story that feels communal and cohesive. Even minor characters have arcs that pay off, a testament to the writer's commitment to building a truly collaborative starship crew. In contrast to Discovery, which often centers on a singular lead and broader galactic stakes, Strange New Worlds proves that smaller, personal stakes can be just as compelling, if not more so. The rescue mission at the heart of this episode is a classic Trek premise, but what elevates it is how well it's executed. There's no deus ex machina here, just resourcefulness, sacrifice, and the unshakable bonds between crewmates. A particularly moving moment comes when Benga and Lon find themselves facing down a young Gorn. Rather than shoot first, they pause, recognizing an opportunity to learn more about the enemy. It's a quiet yet powerful reminder that Star Trek at its best is about understanding, not just victory. That nuance, often lost in the more action-heavy episodes of Discovery, is front and center here. Another key development involves Starfleet's political maneuvering. Pike's decision to defy orders echoes earlier franchise captains like Kirk and Sisko, highlighting a recurring Trek theme. When do moral imperatives outweigh command protocols? Pike's actions will surely have repercussions, but they feel justified and in line with his character's integrity. The ending doesn't just wrap up the arc. It catapults the show into even more intriguing territory. Without spoiling the final moments, suffice it to say that Strange New Worlds has laid the groundwork for a Gorn conflict that could rival any major arc in Trek history. It's bold, it's emotional, and it leaves just enough unanswered questions to fuel speculation until the next season. In terms of character development, visual storytelling, and thematic resonance, Hegemony Part 2 stands as one of the best episodes not just of Strange New Worlds, but of modern Trek overall. It showcases everything that makes a franchise endure: curiosity, courage, and compassion, even in the face of overwhelming odds. When stacked against Discovery, which has sometimes prioritized spectacle over substance, this episode is a masterclass in balance. It proves that you don't need to go bigger. You just need to go deeper. Strange New Worlds respect its roots while innovating in all the right ways. And Hegemony Part 2 is the clearest example of that philosophy yet. Ultimately, Hegemony Part 2 isn't just a great finale. It's a statement, a bold reminder that Star Trek still has new frontiers to explore, and that sometimes the best way to do that is by returning to the very essence of what made the series great in the first place.